Someone's asking, assuming that you're spending 5 to 6 months to reach your fullest potential on the LSAT, how many hours should you spend studying and how to spread it out? I've touched on this a little bit already, but I would say don't stress too much about any one particular day and don't try to cram it. When you're studying full time over the course of 5 to 6 months, it's easy to burn out. So take plenty of breaks, take some days off here and there, and don't feel like you need to do too much on any particular single day. The LSAT is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's about gradually absorbing the content of the exam and the methods of reasoning over a long period of time. The LSAT is an exam of pattern recognition, not memorization. And so if you want to complete at least 30 to 40 exams, some of which you would do as individual sections, some you would do of questions by type, others you would do as full-length timed exams, that's great, but gradual. So slow and steady wins the race on this. And I do have a series of LSAT study plans that actually break down for you my general recommendations on how to prepare for this when you're self-studying. And basically, these study plans are based on the idea of what I call the LASER approach to LSAT studying. LASER is an acronym standing for learning, accuracy, sections, exams, and review. The LASER approach to LSAT studying. Learning is basically learning theory, reading textbook chapters, building a strong foundation in the different question types. Accuracy is doing questions by type, drilling them to learn what is a strengthening question asking for versus what is a flaw question asking for, and so on. Sections is individual timed 35-minute sections to focus on your pacing. E is for exams and endurance, doing full-length 5-section timed exams. And then finally, R is for review, which is the most important part in my opinion, but often the most neglected. And for this, it's about doing fewer exams and reviewing them in more depth. Specifically, where did your misunderstanding stem from? Was it in the stimulus for logical reasoning? Was it in the question stem? Or was it in the answer choices? If it was in the stimulus, was it that you didn't know the conclusion? Was it that it was worded in a difficult way? Was it that you didn't like the topic? Whatever it may be, look at that. If it was the question stem, was it that you did not properly ID which question type it was? Then you might need to work on your recognition of question stems. If it was in the answer choices, what was tempting about the wrong answer that made you pick it? And what ultimately made it wrong? And what was discouraging about the right answer that pushed you away from it, but what ultimately made it correct? This is worth taking a lot of time. Let's say that you were scoring a 170, which is a fantastic score. That might mean you got about 10 questions wrong, but there would be another 10 to 15 questions that you guessed on or got lucky on, or that you weren't 100% sure on, but it could have just as easily gone the other way the next time around. If that was the case, then you've got about 25 questions to review, assuming you got a 170. And by definition, most people are getting below 170, which means that there are even more than 25 questions to review. And even spending 10 minutes per question with 25 questions, that would take, if my math is right, about 4 hours. That's a lot of time. So you cannot do timed exams every single day. That will lead to burnout, and that will not give you enough time to also review the exams that you're doing. So if you're taking the LSAT in January or November, whatever it is, don't do a timed exam every single day. Do at most, typically, 2 timed exams per week, along with detailed review of those exams, and that will be more than enough. If you ID weak areas to focus on, you could drill those on the side, but 2 exams a week is a lot of work. I certainly wouldn't recommend doing more than that. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them, and feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.